Hello, friends. In the series of learning computer organization and design, today we are going to focus on priority interrupts. So, this is the entire agenda of the chapter. We have already covered the topics as peripheral devices, input output interface, asynchronous data transfer, modes of transfer, and also we have covered the direct memory access just because it was part of the modes of transfer, right? So, today we are focusing entirely on the priority interrupts. So, in this session, basically the priority interrupts are being derived under two categories. One are based upon the hardware and another are based upon software. So in this chapter, our entire focus will be on the hardware. Under the hardware also there are of two types, in the form of serial and we can design it in the form of parallel. Okay, these are the priority interrupts that we need to design for our machine in order to determine the priority. Now, I have tried to only cover one aspect here in this session. Reason being, otherwise it will become very complicated to understand both the concepts together. So, in the next session, we will discuss about the parallel priority interrupt too. So, today we are going to design to learn about what are the priority interrupts, right? So, what are the various types of priority interrupts, and then we will generalize more about the serial priority interrupt. So this is how we will proceed within this entire session. So let's start diving into the topic of priority interrupts. So here, this is the very first slide, which is determining or which is depicting the definition, meaning of the term, right? So the meaning of the priority and interrupt is that priority is simply the preference, but to whom we are talking about, whom we will give the preference only to the IO devices. Okay, because IO devices are the external agents who want to access or who want to take the you could say that the assistance of the processor in order to do some operation, right? So that's why, as the topic is also, the chapter is also about the input output organization. So we are going to just be describing about these IO devices. So interrupt means when they want assistance, when they want that they should be taken care, their whatever the things they want from the machine, and that should be handled. So the point is that the priority will determine which interrupt to be served first. So definitely, sometimes what happen is that there are number of peripheral devices which are attached to the machine, and sometimes simultaneous one or two or three or more requests came to access the CPU. Now the point is that the CPU is only one, so it can handle the instructions one by one only, right? So if the request to serve or to take the assistance of the processor arrives simultaneously, then what we are doing is we have established a priority interrupt. We have always established that, okay, if magnetic disk and let's suppose keyboard or mouse or printer, they want to access the processor, right, at the same point of time, then what we will do, we will use a mechanism in which we will prioritize them. Like magnetic disk would be having the more priority rather than the keyboard or the printer or any other device. Same is the thing. So the one which are with the highest priority as assigned by the manufacturer, okay, so that will be served first over the lower priority devices. So this is what exactly is the meaning of the term. So this is a full-fledged definition. A priority interrupt is a system that establishes the priority over the various sources. Now, why do we do that? In order to determine which condition is to be serviced first when two or more requests arrive simultaneously. Okay, to which particular IO device we should take care. The second point in this regard is about the which conditions are permitted to interrupt the computer while another request has been serviced. Okay, so these are the two things that we need to focus upon. So here is some another part, like I was describing you in the overview also. The priority interrupts can be designed by the manufacturer or within the machine in two ways, by the hardware and by the software. So we will first of all learn about the software part. So, software is simply the term which we are using. Like we have designed a software which whose responsibility is to look at the priorities which are being assigned. So, we will predefine a priority of each and every device. Like if the magnetic disk is present here, right, it will be available with the more priority in comparison to the keyboard or to the other peripherals like printers and all. So we have this design. This is what we will design. We will prefixing or we will be providing it into the software. This will be fixed. Okay. So within the software, so whenever the system, when we will implement this particular software, when we install it within our machine, so accordingly my machine will start taking the request from the highest priority devices. Even if one or two priority devices, means one or two IO devices are sending the request, so what will happen in that case? So the request, who is the one which is having the highest priority, will be serviced always the first, because the software will determine, will always look at the highest priority device. So this is what the thing. Rest all devices will not be taken care. So here is the thing. This software based priority interrupt, the procedure we called it as a polling. Polling is, you could say, a technical term or a terminology been used whenever the priority interrupt is taken care by the software. So what happens in the polling, as I have already described you here also. So let's have a little bit more idea about the characteristics of working with this priority, right? So polling procedure is used to identify the highest priority source by the software means. So whenever the term polling came, the only thing you need to remind is that it is related to the software part. So what happens in this case? Priority is established by the order of polling the devices. Means in which order we will have to poll, right? Polling is simply, you could say, that elections kind of thing, right? So by the interrupt sources. So highest priority device is tested first, right? And if the interrupt is on, so what will happen in these cases when we are designing a software? We are having a control branch to service the routines for the software. Otherwise, next priority source is tested. What happens in this case is that whenever we are using the software based priority interrupts, so we are having a one common, you could say, that the common subroutine handler, or you could say the branching. Okay, because whenever the interrupt will arise, the system has to take care about this interrupt, right? So whenever, as we are using the software only, so we, in the software it will be mentioned that to which particular branch address we need to focus upon, and that will be the always the one same interrupt request or the branch request. Every time the interrupt came, right, it will be handled or taken to that particular branch within the you could say that the main memory. So this is how we will be proceeding. Now, this kind of priority interrupt is actually a flexible kind of thing, because you need not to worry much, because software is taking care of each and everything, right? And it is also cheaper because we are not involving so many soft hardwares into that. Within the chip, you could say that we have designed or a system, we have prioritized the system based upon certain rules and regulations, or we could say that some algorithms are defined, right? Accordingly we are going to build the softwares. So lesser, just because we are using the less amount of hardware here, that's why its cost is also less. But these are very slower devices, and if there are many interrupt times required to poll, may exceed time available for the service IO device. Now you can consider one point here. Let us suppose these 1, 2, 3, and 4 devices are attached. Okay, and this device has sent the priority request, and this has also sent. So obviously the third device's priority has been taken care, but once the system was serving it, the next priority came for this particular device, the second number of device. It is having the second highest priority. So again, it has to again wait, because now the system will look at this. And while pursuing with this, now the third request has been generated by the highest priority. So it means that the request of this fourth device would never been serviced. So that would be a little bit problem in this case, when we are using the polling procedure. So it is consuming more time also, because the software has to follow the certain rules or the algorithms which we have deployed within it, right? So the next part is there, which is consisting of the hardware based priority interrupt. So as it is the hardware based, so definitely we are going to use some sort of the digital electronics here, like the digital circuits. It would be a combination of either the sequential or of the combinational circuit, something like that. So what happens in case of the hardware based priority interrupts? We are always having a manager, priority interrupt manager, which will look after, okay, to which device we should have to assign the highest priority, and which to provide the least priority. Okay, the procedure will also remain the same in this case also. In case of hardware also, we will prioritize the IO devices, the peripherals. We will prioritize them. We will be sending the first device may be the magnetic disk, second may be the printers, third may be the keyboards, and similarly fourth may be the you could say that anything, a mouse, let's suppose. So very simple IO devices are these, right? So point is that this thing will be prefixed. Okay, we will also design within the software, but how? We will usually take these in systems within the hardware. Okay, we will attach them to the hardware. I will explain you when I will be explaining you in detail about the concept how we are designing the hardware part, right? For the time being, just understand the things that we are using a manager which accepts the interrupt requests and to determine the highest priority request. So with the manager here in this case is nothing but the CPU, the processor only. It will take the request being generated by any of these devices, okay, and also accordingly it will also determine the one which is having the highest priority. So it is a faster kind of approach, since the identification of the highest priority interrupt request is identified by the hardware. Just because hardware has to be involved in that, so we will use certain technologies and techniques within the hardware that it is very easily approachable, that okay, some request has been generated by the highest priority device. Then again, it is fast, since each interrupt source has its own interrupt vector. Now, what will happen? If this device, let's suppose, has sent the request, we will be having its vector address. We need not to define like in case we were doing in the softwares. There would be a central place where all the subroutines or the branching condition is to be handled. No, there is nothing like this. So every particular device would be having its own vector address. That vector address will be depicting me that where within the memory we need to go in order to solve this interrupt. Everything will be defined within the system, within the device in itself. Okay. So the next is that it can be addressed using the serial and parallel connection. As I said earlier also, in case of the hardware, we are having two facilities, how we can design the system. Okay. One is using the serial based, means all the IO devices or the peripheral will be attached in a serial manner, that we are going to learn just now. And another could be the parallel. So when we will be aligning all the IO devices in the parallel mode, simultaneously they can send the data and we have to configure them. So this parallel part we will discuss later. So let's shuffle on the serial based connections. So example of the serial based connection is nothing but the daisy chain priority. So daisy chain plays an important role. So let's understand about what exactly is this daisy chain priority interrupt. So this is the full-fledged scenario of daisy chain. What happens in this case? The serial hardware priority function. So first thing is that the devices are attached in the serial order. This is the device one, any device, like I was taking the example of magnetic disk in the previous slide, right? So this is that device one. This is device two, like let's suppose it is printer. This is device 3. Let's suppose it is keyboard. Okay. Any device, it could be depending upon the manufacturer to which particular device they want to assign the priority. And similarly, there could be many devices being attached, but in a serial order. See, these all are in serial order. First of all, this device will be taken care, then this, only then this. Okay, this is how this entire thing will be taken. And as I said earlier, each device is having its own vector address. This VAD is nothing but the vectored address. So it is nothing but the address which is depicting that to which particular part within the memory they have to go. Okay, these are depicting the direction, you could say that. So again, next thing is that this is the manager, the CPU, which will manage the entire interrupt within the hardware. Okay. Now you can see that there are two lines. One is coming into the processor and one is going out from the processor. So what this particular these two signals are? Let's understand them. The very first thing is the interrupt request line. This INT is the interrupt request line. See, by default, what is happening here is we are having this interrupt request line, okay, and this by default will remain active. INT will be equals to 1. When nothing has been happening, no device is sending the priority and something like that. Okay. So what will happen in this scenario? If this INT is equals to 1, then it means that no device has sent the request yet. As soon as, let's suppose this device, I'm just trying to change the color so that you could get to know. Let's suppose this device 2 has sent the request, okay, to the CPU. So what will happen? My system would not be able to determine which particular device, but this INT interrupt request value should go from 1 to 0. Once it was 1, INT was interrupt request was 1, it means it was open to handle the interrupts. Right? Now, as soon as it is equals to 0, it means that now the interrupt has arrived. Now what will happen? Once this INT value is becoming 0, okay, it means my system will get an alert. Some interrupt has been there, some request for the interrupt has came. So then what will happen? My CPU will send an INT acknowledgement signal, interrupt acknowledgement line. Okay. This interrupt acknowledgement signal will be sent, means INT acknowledgement before it would be equals to 0. Now it will be equals to 1. That it will simply depict that yes, the processor is saying now I have actually received the interrupt. Now it is the job of the processor to look at whether this device has sent the request or this or which particular device. Okay, so as this value is 1 coming from the INT acknowledgement signal here, interrupt acknowledgement, this 1 will go here. Now this PI is nothing but the PI is here standing for the priority in, and there is PO which is nothing but the priority out. So what does it signifies? This PI is equals to 1 here, okay? But this device has not sent the request. Device 1 was having the highest priority. Always it will serially checking starting from the very first device, this hardware, okay? This has not sent the request, okay? The device will not respond to anything. So this PO will remain the 1 and it will shuffle this value to the another part. Now as soon as it will reach the device 2, the PI is equals to 1 here also. Priority in is equals to 1. So what happened in this case? Now this device has sent the request. It will accept this acknowledgement signal because ultimately it was nothing but the acknowledgement signal. This 1 value is nothing but the acknowledgement signal, right? So as soon as this device 2 has received this value, it will send the 0 value because it will accept this acknowledgement signal and will say, yes, I was the one who has sent the request. Okay, even if these, let's suppose, two devices have sent the request, once this situation met, that PI is equals to 1 and PO is equals to 0, in that case what will happen means this highest priority device will be taken care even if this particular value has sent the request. So what will happen, this PI will become 0 now here, and accordingly nothing will happen to the another cases, because as soon as the PI will receive the 0 value, it means no request came. So this is how the CPU entirely takes care of the priority interrupts in case of the daisy chain And the daisy chain is a serial method to determine which particular hardware has sent the request. All right. So this was how I was explaining you. Let's read these points also. So the first point was serial connection to all devices that require an interrupt. Okay, we know that now, that the serial connection is been made for the devices. Now, device with the highest priority placed in the first position, followed by the devices with the lowest priority. Definitely, as I told, this device one is having the highest priority over the device two or three, and so on and so forth. Now, interrupt generated by any device, as soon as any interrupt will be generated by any device, signals low state interrupt line. So, what will happen? The signal will go into the low state. This interrupt line before it was 1. As soon as any interrupt is coming in on this line, the value of it is becoming 0. Now the CPU responds by enabling the interrupt acknowledgement signal. How does the CPU is responding? That it has received the interrupt, it will just generate this interrupt enable acknowledgement signal, and it will make it equals to 1 because it has enabled it. Okay. Now the device receives pi is equals to 1. The device will receive the pi is equals to 1 to the and passes it to the next only when pio is equal when not requesting. So this is the point to understand. As I said, if it is not requesting, it will pass the same value to the another one. Otherwise, what will happen? Else pi will become equals to 0. This was the second case, the device which has sent the request. Thus, the device with pi is equals to 1 and po is equals to 0 is the one with the highest priority requesting the interrupt. So I hope that I was able to define this entire thing, and you have also got it. So now what we are going to do is, as we have learned it in a general manner, we will now focus upon these conditions like pi is equals to 1, po is equals to 1, pi is equals to 1, po is equals to 0, or pi equals to 0, or po will be 0 or 1, that doesn't matter, right? So point is that in the next topic, we are going to describe about the one stage, one stage of the daisy chain priority interrupt. Now we know that within the one stage of this daisy chain, what will happen? Either the pi is equals to 0 and po is equals to 0, pi is equals to 0, po is equals to 0, pi equals to 1, po is this particular value is equals to 1, pi is equals to 1, and this particular value po is equals to 1. So the point is that we are going to determine about any one situation when the values are equals to pi and po are equals to 1. So let's understand them. So first thing is, before initiating this particular description of the diagram, so I would like to say here that the students, those who are the learners here, that this is a little bit confusing diagram. Okay, so the procedure how I am determining you to how I am going to explain you, you have to always focus on that, because in the theoretical part in the textbook, from where this particular diagram has been taken, it is very well defined there that how we have to proceed. Okay, so this is simply depicting me the one stage. See, this was the diagram. It could be like the one stage of any particular device. As I said earlier, the stage could be any. Okay, it could be pi or po 1 1 or 1 0 or 0 0 or 1 0, something like that. We will understand them. Now let's understand the various components which are attached within this. This is the vector address. We know that if the device is enabled, if the device has sent the request, only then this vector address will be achieved. Okay, it means in order to achieve this vector address, we need the value to be equals to 1 here. This is the priority in. If the acknowledgement signal is 1, only then the priority in will go. If the priority this acknowledgement signal is 0, it means nothing happened, right? So we need not to bother about the entire diagram. Got it? Then there comes this interrupt request from the device. So definitely there would be peripheral device been there. If any of the peripheral has sent the request, okay, so this is the flip flop we are using here to determine whether any particular device has sent the request or not. Accordingly, the entire factor, this RF is the flip flop. This is just the name, you could say that name of flip flop. This RF has nothing to deal with this. Okay, कि इसका नाम ऐसे क्यों है, why does this name and all, just the name it has been provided here, RF, the output of this entire particular value. Now in this diagram we are going to focus on the value of this flip flop as well as this acknowledgement signal. As I said earlier also, this PI and PO, RF, right? These values we're going to depict the output what we are going to receive at PO and at this enable when we have to enable the vector address. Okay, so let's understand that in more detail. So the point here is that this first procedure, when Pi is equals to 0 and Rf is equals to 0, then what will happen? No interrupt signal will go. So simply it is also been cleared from here as well. If Pi is equals to 0, let's proceed with the next. If Pi is equals to 0, when Pi will be equals to 0? If the acknowledgement signal has not been sent by the machine, right? Only in that case the Pi value would be equals to 0. It means that no acknowledgement. All right. So here is the same point. So if this Pi value is equals to 0, I need not to bother about anything. So this is having the no interrupt request being generated. Even if the RF value is 0, it means nothing has been done till now. Okay, because RF will be depicting the result based on some values, like interrupt request from any device has been done. So if this no request has been sent by any of the device and this acknowledgement signal is also not working, so definitely it simply means that no interrupt request has sent. Then there comes the second point. When the Pi is equals to again 0, right? Because we are having the four values defined here, that's why we have to explain in the two cases of 0 0 and two cases of 1 1. So if the Pi is equals to 0 but this RF value is equals to 1 now, then what will happen? Then in that case we need to depict whether the device has sent the request. So it is simply saying that it is again an invalid kind of case because interrupt has been sent by the device. See, interrupt request by the device, only then it has activated the value. This is SR flip flop. Only if this S value is set, it will depict the result, right? So what happens? But no acknowledgement from the CPU has been came. So again, it is an invalid kind of situation. I hope you are understanding the point here. Then there comes the next point. When the Pi is equals to 1, now we are going to discuss about this one part. So let me change the color of the pen here. When the Pi value is equals to 1, then what will happen? Pi is 1, acknowledgement is there, but device has this RF value is equals to still 0. Interrupt request has not been coming from that particular device. So look at this factor. So it might be the case that no interrupt request has been generated. So simply we are passing it to the next device like this. When the device has not generated the request, the first case was there now. This particular case. This device has not sent the request. Its Py was equals to 1. So it simply forwarded or passes the request to the another device. Okay. So this is the case here. So in this case, what will happen is, let's look here. Let me delete rub the entire thing from the notes first. Okay, so we are going to discuss about this third point now. The value of Pi is equals to 1 and this RF value is equals to 0. Okay, so what will happen? This RF is attached here, which is 0. So this 1 is coming. So enable is not been there definitely because this device has not sent the request. That's why it will not enable the value. But what will happen in this PO's case? So this is 0, this is inverted, this is becoming 1. Okay, so this PO value for 0 and 1 will go to 0. So here it will be equals to 0. Sorry, this is 1 coming. I'm so sorry. This was the 1 and 1 is going to depict me the 1 here, right? So it means that we need not to go for the things. So definitely this 1 and 1 has passes. Vector address has not been enabled. Now let's go and look for this fourth case because these are the only two cases that matters. The interrupt is equals to 1 and device has also sent the request. So what will happen? As soon as we will get this value 1. So this 1 is directly being attached here, and this 1 from the priority interrupt will came, so it will simply enable the vector address, right? So what happens in this case? So this will ultimately become 0 because it is the inverter game gate. So this PO value will be 0 because 1 not and with 0 will give me the 0, right? So remember that case. So here the value should be actually 0. This is the point of correction here. Okay, because only in this case I will be having the value equals to 0. Then it means that interrupt is also generated, the device has also sent the request. Only in that case we are going to get the interrupt request by that particular device. And the rest, these values are like this delay is there and it is further been attached to this R. This is nothing but depicting me that the vector address has been accepted by the machine. Now it will reset the value for taking the next particular value. So this is how the one stage of the daisy chain priority interrupt will work. And I hope that you were able to understand the concepts here. Thank you so much for watching.